This bike with crazy rear suspension is called the HiKeep MG-T, and as you can see, it comes with 4 rear shocks. It also comes with a 1500 watt rear hub motor, a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery, and cool retro styling with a brown cafe racer style seat. HiKeep is a sub-brand of HiKeep, and this is the 3rd bike that I've tested from them. So it's got some pretty good specs on paper, and it looks really cool. So how does the MG-L hold up? Let's get it out of the box and find out. So this is now the 3rd bike from HiKeep that they've sent me, and I've liked every single one of them so far, so hopefully this one is no different. Here is our MG-L. Might as well take a look at what was inside that box. So we've got our user manual. We've got our cool ring light headlight that all my other HiKeep bikes had. 2 amp charger, 54.6 volts, so this is a 48 volt battery on this bike. And they give us this really nice brown cafe racer style seat, which has been really comfortable on other bikes that I've worked with. And our frame here has this really nice metallic dark gray with almost a little bit of dark blue in it too. It looks really nice. They also give us our front fender back here, and then they also include 4 shocks on here. There's 2 on each side, so I've never seen that on a bike before. We'll see how comfortable that is later on. I just noticed that the inside of the box actually says HiKeep, and the outside says HiKeep. So obviously same deal, same company. So this comes with Chaoyang knobby tires, 20 by 4 inches, and then our front axle comes zip tied on here. And then I'm not sure how big these brakes are. I think they're 160, but it actually doesn't say on the rotor. They are cable brakes though on this bike. And it looks like they include 2 sets of keys on here. This one's gonna be for the ignition and this one's gonna be for the battery. This is the same key that they use on all the ignitions for their HiKeep bikes. So they give us this HiKeep branded 15.6 amp hour battery. It is 48 volts and we can just use the keys to get it off of the frame like that. Got a built-in battery meter on the top. Front wheel is on there nice and tight. It looks like our controller is actually gonna be down here in this box. You can kind of see it through this hole here. It comes with a VIN number stamped down here on the bottom of the bike. This bike actually does feel pretty heavy in the rear especially, and it'll probably feel even heavier with the battery on here. All right, so we have the MG-L all assembled, front fender and all, which you guys know is unusual for me, but this was actually really easy to put on. But you guys can see that we have our mechanical front brakes here with our Chaoyang 20 by 4 inch fat tires. We get spoked wheels on this bike, and then over here is our controller box with our 48 volt 15 amp hour battery. Like we said, 4 springs on the rear here, and I sat on this. It doesn't feel super soft, but we'll see how it is once it's out on the road. In the back here, we have our 750 watt rear hub motor, which peaks at 1500 watts. Our front forks do have a compression adjustment. There is no preload. Really nice looking paint on here. It's nice to see this instead of just the black paint that you see on every other moped style e-bike. Then our nice brown cafe racer style seat, which should be pretty comfortable. Looks like it can only hold 1 person. There's no place for foot pegs over here. And over here we have our 7 Shimano gears as well as our Shimano derailleur. And then we have our front sprocket here. If we turn the bike on with our key and then by holding the power button down, we can see that our rear tail light is a brake light, and it does come on when the headlight is on too. Our handlebars are pretty standard. They're kind of a wide mountain bike style. And then we have our rear brake here on the left. We have our headlight switch. We have our turn signals, which are on the rear only on this bike. You can have both of them on at the same time. Then we have a loud horn. And then we have our control pad here for the display. So we got our power button. And if you click that, it doesn't do anything. You have to hold it down to turn it off. Our up and down for our pedal assist. We have our information, which goes between the trip odometer, max and average. Then we have a walk mode / down button down here. This gear button doesn't really do anything. It dims the screen because it thinks it's the headlight button. And we have a pretty nice display here. Pretty standard e-bike screen. It's bright enough to see in the day. And then we have our Shimano 7-speed shifter over here, as well as our keyed ignition, half twist throttle, and then our front brake is over here. I like the layout. It's simple, it's clean, and it gets the job done. So overall, the MG-L is a really cool looking e-bike so far. It's nice to see a company switch it up from just the regular old black moped style e-bikes, and you do get this really nice brown seat. It is a nice contrast. You know, this is kind of like a slate gray metallic paint on here, but I mean, the paint looks almost like car quality. There's no orange peel or anything on here. The clear coat's really nice. And this is how I look sitting on the bike at 5'9" and 150 pounds. I can easily flat foot this. So if you're a smaller rider, this should be decent for you. I'm not a huge fan of pedaling these moped style bikes. And one thing that I am noticing just off the bat is that my shoe gets stuck on this spring back here. So that can be an issue if you do want to pedal this thing. You don't want to be pedaling super fast and then you hit this and it throws you off. could throw you off your balance on the bike. Kind of a more hunched over riding position on here. And again, you're only fitting one person on this bike. You're not fitting two people on this. There's no place for foot pegs. So they currently have the MG-L listed for just under $1,100, and any discount codes that I can get you guys are going to be in the description. I know that there is a coupon code that can get you, I think, at least 50 or 100 bucks off, but any discount codes are going to be down there, and I'll give you guys access to that. But I mean, not a bad price for this type of bike. Everything feels really good quality on this. I will say it does feel like a step up in quality from the K6-G that I reviewed earlier, and I love that bike, so this should be pretty good. And it is really nice to have 4 shocks on the back here. It doesn't feel super soft, but we'll see how that is when we're out on the road. But I mean, 48 volts, 15 amp hour battery, 1500 watt rear hub motor. I think that this is a pretty good deal for the specs on this bike. You know, you get this really cool styling on here, and you get the adjustable front forks and everything, knobby tires. So this thing is looking pretty promising so far, but what do you say we get this thing out on the road and see how it really is? And yes, it's got plenty of power to do a little bit of a wheelie like that. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be testing this thing out right now. Guess we'll test you out another day, MG-L. All right, so we're out here on the MG-L, just giving it a test, and overall it feels really similar to the K6-G that HiKeep sent out. And I did ask HiKeep about the branding and everything, why this one was Global Keep, and I guess that's just a sub-brand of HiKeep. So HiKeep, Global Keep, same thing. So this is their MG-L. And like I said, it does feel really similar to the K6-G, which is a good thing because the K6-G was a really good bike and I liked it a lot. And this still feels really good. You have your wide mountain bike style handlebars, you have your cable brakes on here, and you have the same display, I think, too. But overall, it feels like a good bike. You know, you've got your compression adjustment here on the front forks. So we are dealing with cable brakes here on the MG. They're the same Wuling cable brakes that I've had on other bikes and the K6-G as well, the HiKeep K6-G. And we'll just give them a test right now real quick. Yeah, so I mean, you really feel like you have to pull the handles all the way to the, whoa! So yeah, they're cable brakes. They're not the strongest brakes, but they're not bad at all. You know, they get you to a stop here. And as you guys can see, I am completely flooring it on here, and I'm limited to about 20 miles an hour on this so far. So why don't we try pedaling this? So pedal assist 0 obviously is going to be completely on your own, and pedal assist 1, I'm in 7th gear here, shifting down to 4th. On pedal assist 1, you know, I really feel like I'm doing most of the work here, but I think the bike is helping me out a little bit. And then if we go up to pedal assist 2, that is limited to 10 miles an hour right there. Pedal assist 2 is going to get you up to about 10.5 miles an hour. And I am putting in some effort to pedal on here. It looks like we're getting up to about 11 actually. And on throttle, it looks like it's limiting us to like 10.3 miles an hour on pedal assist 2. We go up to pedal assist 3. It looks like that's going to limit us at about 13 miles an hour. Pedal assist 4 is going to get us up to about 16 on throttle. I'm going to shift into the highest gear. And we can still put power down in pedal assist 4. It isn't bad right now. And pedal assist 5 is going to get you up to your top speed of 20 miles an hour. If you have bigger feet, you're going to be hitting those rear springs in the back there. So that's something that you definitely have to keep in mind if you do plan on taking this thing pedaling and everything. But I mean, it's still got the same great power of something like the K6-G, where you can take it off-road. And again, it's not a dirt bike, but you can get up these easy grass trails like this, so not bad at all. Not an off-road monster by any means, but for these light grass trails that we're on right now, not bad at all. The rear suspension on this bike does feel a little bit firm, and you do have those 4, oh man, a little bumpy right there. You do have those 4 shocks on the back, which looks like it'd be really, really soft, but it's actually not super soft. You definitely feel the suspension working, and it helps iron those bumps out, but is not the softest suspension for sure. I forgot to put my speedometer up, but it is actually really accurate. So let's go ahead and do a hill test here. I'm gonna shift it into 1st gear. We're gonna go down here into this. Oh man, this is really bumpy, swampy down here, but yeah, let's try doing this on throttle only, see if we can make it up this hill with a run out. Yeah, no way. No way. So this is a 750 watt motor, I believe, with a 1500 watt peak, they say. So not bad, pretty standard for these bikes. I think the HiKeep K6-G also was the same exact specs as this. But I mean, it feels good on grass and everything. It's not gonna throw you off the back. It's not a dirt bike, but it feels pretty good. And we're just cruising along at 20. I definitely feel, it feels like it wants to go faster. It's just software limited to 20 miles an hour, which is unfortunate. But you know, you can definitely feel that it wants to go faster, and it does have plenty of power for reasonable stuff. But if you're gonna be doing crazy stuff like going up those really steep hills like that, you know, that's not what these bikes are made for. So these moped style bikes are super fun to just take off-road like this and go and explore some trails. These knobby tires are good off-road, and it's got plenty of power to just hit these little light dirt trails like this. This is a really fun bike to take on some light off-road stuff like this, and the full suspension helps iron those bumps out. And I don't know if you guys can see in this video, usually I'm out earlier in the day, but I've got my headlight on right now, and you can see me turn it on and off with the built-in controls over here. And then we've got our turn signals on the rear, then we've got a horn, and it's really loud. But then we've got our menu controls right here like I showed you guys in the garage, and everything's just laid out really simple on this bike. And I really like this control and this screen. I've seen this on a bunch of other e-bikes before. It's a really simple, really good, easy to read control and everything. You've got your speed, you've got your pedal assist number, trip odometer, max speed, average speed, and then you have your odometer on there like I said. Then you obviously have your 7 Shimano gears here, which I'm not pedaling these moped style bikes too much, but it is nice to have options. It is nice to have gears, especially if you're helping this thing out uphill. And then you have your keyed ignition over here, which if you flip the key, then it's gonna turn off the bike. And a half twist throttle like this is always nice to have on a bike. And the throttle feels nice and responsive on this bike. A lot of bikes, it feels like it's kind of nerfed, where it takes a second to kick in and then it kind of eases you in. But this one feels pretty much almost instant. There's a little bit of a delay, but it's almost instant, so it feels really good. The styling on this bike is really cool and everything. I like how they went with a bit of a different look here with the brown seat and the sort of grayish blue paint. And then you got the suspension back there, which is again really unique, even though it's not the softest. And then you have this big controller box down here, and it almost looks like a mid-drive bike, but it isn't. It's still a hub motor bike, but you got this big controller box in here. Sometimes they build it in to the battery tray, but not on this one. A lot of times they'll have it underneath the seat. There's nothing under the seat here, so it's definitely the controller box there. But man, this thing looks really cool, especially at night. I love these halo headlights that these HiKeep bikes come with, and I mean, it's just a really sleek looking bike. The paint, hey, maybe it's not for everybody, but I think it looks really good. You've got your tail light there. I love the tail lights and the headlights that HiKeep uses on these bikes. This thing looks sick at night and should definitely be good enough to get you around, you know, if you are riding around a lot at night, or if you get stuck on the trail and you got to ride home at night or something. I think this headlight and everything should be perfect for being able to see at night. So why don't we do a quick 0 to 20 while we're still on relatively full battery. We've gone about 4.5 miles. So let's just do a quick 0 to 20. I'll go off the speed on the screen because I think that refresh is faster. But 3, 2, 1, go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 2. All right, we'll go to 19.8 because this bike is limited to just under 20 miles an hour apparently. Out here on the city streets, we've got our turn signals, which is nice. We've got a nice loud horn so that people can hear you when you're riding around on the street and someone cuts you off and you want to honk your horn at them. I wish I was going a little bit faster on here right now, not gonna lie to you guys. 20 miles an hour is cool and everything, but I wish it was unlocked. But it feels really good and it feels really smooth. There's no weird squeaks or rattles or anything. You know, it feels like it's well built, and handles, bumps, and everything really nice. It doesn't get upset easily like some e-bikes. Riding position on this is a little bit hunched over since you have these kind of flat mountain bike style handlebars, but it's really not bad at all. It's all personal preference. I like to be in more of a cruiser style seating position because I like to just kind of hang out and I don't really care about putting too much power down. But if you want to put a lot of power down, you know, you want more of a hunched over mountain bike style riding position like that. I'm really liking this HiKeep MG right now. This is a nice little bike. The seat on here is feeling pretty good. I've seen this seat on a few other e-bikes recently, and it's not the softest seat, but it's definitely way more comfortable than most bike seats. But it feels you know, really good. Like I said, the riding position is a little bit more aggressive. You're not going to be fitting a second person on this bike. This is definitely a one person, one seat type of bike. So just keep that in mind if you need something where you're going to be carrying a passenger on the back or something, but most people don't need to do that. And as far as like utility and stuff on this, there isn't really a place to mount a rear rack or a front rack. You can probably buy universal ones, but out of the box there is no way to put a front rack on this bike, or a rear rack for that matter. So if you need to be doing Uber Eats or something, or food delivery or delivery on your bike, this probably isn't going to be the best option for you. I think you could put like a universal rack on the handlebars here if you really did want this bike and you wanted to do food delivery or something, but just keep that in mind if you are going to be using this bike for work. Me personally, I don't work on my bikes. I ride them around for fun, so I don't really need all the practicality stuff, but it is nice to have a passenger on the back, or, you know, sometimes even a rear rack to throw a backpack on or something. Oh, we just dropped a battery bar here. We're at 4 battery bars out of 5 now, and we've gone about 6.1 miles on here. I'm not used to riding into a beautiful sunset like this, man. Usually I do these videos in like the middle of the day. This thing is definitely a bike path bike. I think if you pick one of these up, you're going to be really happy with just taking it on the bike path and cruising around and everything. And it is a really, really cool looking e-bike. I love the styling on this. HiKeep is really good styling on all their bikes, and this is no exception. All right, guys, so we ran out of daylight yesterday. It is the next day, but I've got some really good news. I figured out how to unlock this bike, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now since we're out here riding around. I was able to get this thing up to about 29 on 2 battery bars out of 5 left. So the battery is still the same charge from yesterday. So what I did to unlock this bike is I turned it off, turned the key ignition off, and then you hold down the throttle and this brake lever right here. You turn the bike back on, you hit the power button, and then you hold it for 20 seconds after the display turns on, and then you let go of it and you should be all unlocked. So before it was limiting me to only 20 miles an hour, which is fine and everything, but I want to be able to go faster because I know a bike like this can go a little bit faster. So I'll show you guys once we get back out on the pavement how fast this thing goes. But like I said, I got it up to about 29 miles an hour unlocked. I'm sure you get 30 on a full battery, and the speedometer on this is accurate. So really awesome that we were able to unlock this thing. The brakes have been bedded in and they're feeling a lot better than they did at first. You definitely got to get these bedded in properly in order for them to work absolutely peak. They are a little bit squeaky though. Right now in a really strong headwind, our display is saying 28.8 and our GPS is saying 28. Honestly, you could probably get it up to 30, maybe even 32, but I'm on a lower charge on this battery, so I'm happy with 29, 28 right now. All right, guys, so we are finishing up our ride on the HiKeep MG, and I'm just looking at their page right now, and right now it's listed at $10.99, so just under 1,100 bucks, but I'm sure that I can get you a discount code, so I will leave any of that in the link in the description. But they also do have a MGT, which is a dual motor version. This is the MG-L. That's a 3,000 watt peak bike because it has 2 1,500 watt peak motors, so 1,500 watts times 2 is 3,000, but 1,500 watts on this bike feels really good. When I unboxed this thing, I charged it up fully and we just crossed 24 miles. We are at 1 battery bar right now. This thing is refusing to die. We're going about 25. I was hitting about 27, 28 a little bit earlier. I think this battery is getting really low though. So for a 15.6 amp hour battery, 24 miles right now, and we still probably have at least another 2-3 miles left in this thing. Right after I say that, the battery bar is flashing now, so we've probably only got maybe another mile left in this. So I'm gonna hightail it back home before I have to pedal this bike back. But overall, I really like this MG. HiKeep is just hitting it out of the park with all their bikes. I've had really good experiences with all the HiKeep bikes. I've had the K6-G, I've had the K6T, which is the dual motor version of the K6-G. Then I've had their Global Keep, the MG-L right here, the single motor version of the bike. So they, like I said, they do have a dual motor version. Hopefully I get to check that one out, but this thing is plenty powerful. I really like it a lot, but I do wish that it came with hydraulic brakes for the price. The seat's been really comfortable. I've probably been 15, 16 miles on this ride, so really comfortable seat. The controls and everything are laid out really well. The chassis feels good, feels solid, it feels well built. These HiKeep bikes have felt really well built, so that's nice to see, especially for these more budget bikes. You know, they're not super expensive. I would like to see a 20 amp hour battery as well if I am going to criticize them. You can get the Ridstar Q20 for about the same price, if not a little cheaper, and it comes with a bigger battery, better brakes. So those are my criticisms of this, but overall, a really awesome bike. I love this thing a lot. I love the styling. The retro styling is really in right now, and the brown seat and everything, the cafe racer kind of style. We are flashing, and our battery is really, really low now. We're gonna have to pedal this thing and help it out. But I'm gonna head back to the house. We got about 25 miles of range out of this thing before we are almost completely dead here. So I definitely do recommend this and any other HiKeep bikes that I've reviewed on this channel. I will link to some of them in the description. If this bike wasn't your thing, then I got plenty of other bikes on this channel that you can find one that you like. That being said, guys, I'm gonna head out of here, head back to the garage. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and be safe out there.